Hi everyone, welcome to today's vlog. As you can see, I'm back home now, back from my dad's. We had a lovely time. I thought I'd record the second episode of my Frugal Living series. Thank you so much for watching the first episode and for all your comments and ideas as well. It's great if we can share ideas, you know, because other people have ideas that obviously that I don't have, because maybe they're not relevant to me, and it's great for us all to share so that we can all try and save a bit of money. So if you've got any ideas, pop them in the comments. So just like the last video, I'll just do 5 random tips, because I've got a great big long list here of things. I'll do 5 random ones and, you know, each episode. I think it's really important as well to say that you don't have to do everything perfectly. You know, you don't have to do everything. Maybe you like, you know, putting the heating on all the time, and that's absolutely fine. And I'm not, you know, I would never judge anybody for any of this. I just think it's a bit of a process, and it's kind of a mindset change, or a lot of the things are about changing a mindset. And like I say, it's not about perfection at all. It's just doing the little things that you want to do, you and your family want to do, that might help save you a bit of money. Martin and I, we love to go travelling, and that's why we don't want to give all our money to the electricity company or, you know, to the supermarket or whatever. So that's why we try to be quite frugal, so that any spare money we do have, we can spend on travelling. But you know, if you like spending your spare money on going shopping, that's absolutely fine, and obviously you must do that. Like my lovely friend Ruth always says, you do you. And I just wanted to say that at the beginning of this vlog. Without further ado, tip number 1 is to update your skills so that you can use your skills to either mend something or to do something that you would otherwise have to pay for. So you would either be paying somebody else to do it, or you would be buying something new. And by this I mean really simple things, you know, sewing so that you can mend clothes, either with a sewing machine or hand sewing. I mean, I've got a sewing machine, I like sewing, and I mend a lot of our clothes. However, I'm not skilled enough to make clothes. I have friends who make all their own clothes, which again is another brilliant way to be frugal, but I'm not quite at that level. But I can fix clothes, and I have done quite a few things that have made our clothes last a lot longer and meant that we didn't have to buy new ones, which is brilliant. Again, DIY is another kind of thing that you could think to yourself, could I do that myself? Our oven broke, I think it was a couple of years ago or a year ago, and I immediately was like, oh no, we need to buy a new oven. And Martin was like, no, hang on a minute. And he had a look at it, and he reckoned that it was the actual heating element of the oven. He went onto YouTube, looked up how to fix it, said it's really easy, went onto eBay, bought the part that he needed and fixed the oven. And I think it took him, I don't know, 10 minutes or maybe half an hour with the research on the YouTube video. And I think the part cost something like £5. So again, you know, I would have rushed out and probably bought a new one, which would have been more like £200 or maybe even more. I don't know how much ovens cost these days. But, you know, have a go if you possibly can. Look it up on YouTube. There's so many different sort of tutorials for different things. And if you yourself can't do it, is there a family member that could teach you how to do things? Things with the car as well can be quite costly unless you can learn to do a few things yourself. Yeah, and like I say, if you can't, do you know someone else that can? I have a friend, Annie, who has her own sort of small holding, and if she ever has any sewing jobs, she always asks me to do them for her, and she always gives me in return vegetables and fresh eggs. So, you know, is there something that your friend can do that you can't, and something that you can do that you're, you know, to help your friend out? So don't be afraid to ask people for help or for their advice. I had another friend, Victoria, who is a yoga teacher, and she wanted to learn how to sew, to make some of these like meditation pillows, and she came round one afternoon, this was a couple of years ago, and we had a lovely few hours with me, me and her sewing these things, and she gave me free yoga lessons for a while. So I really like the idea of kind of the bartering, you have one skill that I want and I have a skill that you want. So no money needs to change hands, and it's a really nice way to do things, in my opinion. Even cooking, can you update your cooking skills so that you can make stuff that perhaps that you would buy, maybe that's expensive. So again, there's lots of things that you can research and have a look into. Tip number 2 is quite a simple one. Only go food shopping once a week, or even once a fortnight if you can get away with it. The least amount of times that you go into a shop, the least you're going to buy something. I'm terrible. If I say, I'm just going to, like we've done our weekly shop, and then I think, I'm just going to pop in here, I always end up buying more than I went in for. And, I don't know if it's just human nature. It's really difficult. I have got better at it actually. And I do try to have a list, because that does keep me under control. And I do also try to go shopping when I'm not hungry, because if I go when I'm hungry, I buy way more stuff. But of course the supermarkets especially are very skilled at, arranging everything so that we are tempted to buy more and more things. So just, if you can limit the amount of times you go in a shop, you'll be on to a winner. Tip number 3 is to have a look at any kind of subscriptions that you might have that you're paying money for, and think about whether you really need them and whether you could cancel them for a little while or forever. I've had people message me saying, I'm cancelling my gym subscription because I don't really go very often, or I'm cancelling Netflix because I don't really watch it very often, or whatever. So think about, obviously again, this is really personal, and if you love going to the gym and you go every day, then of course don't cancel your gym subscription. But think about what you are subscribed to and what you do spend money on, and are there ways that you can get those things for free? So for example, again on YouTube, there's every single kind of exercise video that you could possibly want. There's yoga classes, there's exercise classes, there's dancing, walking, so many things. So perhaps for a while you could save a bit of money and do online exercises. Also, things like joining the library is free. It's a good free activity to do in the winter, because it's inside, it's nice and warm, gets you out the house, someone else's heating bill. Obviously the books are free, but there's also I believe things like DVDs and music, maybe. I don't know if you have to pay for that, but anyway, going to the library, I love it, absolutely love it. So anything like that you can think of that you personally can cancel and try and get free versions. I know you can get like free audio books and free books to read on, if you've got an iPad or an iPhone, there's an app called, I think it's just called Books or Read or something. I don't have much luck with it because I've never seemed to be that interested in the books that are on there, but maybe for you it would be worth a go. I think there's quite a lot of kids stuff on there, so there's lots of kids audio books, which would be great. And again, if you've got kids, they love going to the library. There's often little activities and things going on in the library as well. It's quite a kind of a community place, so it's a good one if you're not already a member. And also it helps to keep the libraries going, if people are supporting them, which is another great thing. Tip number 4 is the buy one get one frees and the kind of offers that they have on in the shops. Now, these can be really tempting, and actually they are really good if you know you're going to use the stuff. So if you use exactly the same conditioner and shampoo all the time, and you have done for years, and you see it on a buy one get one free or a really good deal compared to what you normally pay for it, and you can afford it, then go ahead and stock up on it, especially if it's things that don't have a sell-by date. I think that is a really good idea. We tend to do that. If we see something that we know that we're going to use and it's on a really good offer, we'll get as many as we can. And I think it is a good thing to do. As long as it is a really good deal and you know you're going to use it, then it's money well spent, as it were. Tip number 5 for this video is change the way that you socialise and get comfortable saying no. So what I mean by this is, well, when I first moved here, I came obviously from Hampshire, where I had a teaching job, so I had quite a lot of money. My main kind of socialising activities with my friends were going for coffee, going for meals, kind of no expense spared, and also going clothes shopping. Those were the main things that I did, all of which used to cost a lot of money. But that's what I had then, and I was quite happy, spending my money. I enjoyed myself. We had great times. We used to go out drinking a lot, lots of meals out, lunches out, coffees out, cake. I would often go to places like Cath Kidston and spend, £200, or Marks and Spencer's and buy loads of clothes, all that kind of thing. So when I moved here, and I didn't know anybody, I really wanted to change the way that I socialised. And so the friends that I made, I would say to them, yes, I'd love to see you and I'd love to spend time with you, but can we go for a walk and take our flasks with us? Or can we go for a walk first and then have a coffee, rather than sitting for hours having several coffees? Yes, I'd love to have lunch with you. Why don't we meet at my house and everybody bring a dish with them? That kind of thing. It can be difficult because, especially if you've got an established group of friends. But I think, if they're good friends, be honest with them and say, look, I'm trying to cut down a bit. I really want to spend time with you, but actually, could we do something a bit cheaper? And I have loads of fun with my friends, often go out walking. Yes, I do go for coffee as well. But more often than not, we'll go for a walk, go to somebody's house, go up to Lupton for healing, something like that. And still really good fun. I rarely go shopping now with friends, because the friends I have now are not really into shopping. So occasionally we will, but it's more kind of days out, go and sit by the sea, or go to something to do with yoga or something like that. So yeah, that's my other thing. And also say no to things that you don't want to do, and don't be afraid. If you really don't want to go to like a wedding or something because you've got to buy a new outfit and then you've got to buy a present, and sometimes you've got to stay over, all this kind of thing, it can cost a lot of money. And if it's something that you really don't want to go to, don't go. Say no. Obviously, if you want to go, then by all means go and enjoy yourself. But I think sometimes it's very hard to say no to things. But actually, it will save you money in the long run. So yeah, that's my final one for this episode 2. So I'll see you in the next episode for some more tips. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.